Greetings, it's been a while since we last met. A lot has happened with the game recently that I would like to tell you about, but first I will explain what prompted these changes. The trip to Unicon, which was quite some time ago, opened my eyes to some issues that the game has. The funniest thing is that no one was bothered by the game's rather simple combat, the not very large pool of enemies, and the limited space for leveling up. People wanted the ability to edit code from the pause menu, enter commands without brackets in a bash style, and other little things that I had previously considered secondary. But I listened to the feedback and took notes on absolutely every sentence. I filtered some of them later, but there turned out to be a significant number of useful ones. To start, I added a repository menu to the game that allows players to write and test code outside of the game, and then easily use it during their runs. An important component of this change was the new structure for storing player progress on the disk. Now, progress is managed by a single file, while the repository is stored in another. Another file is used for configuration. Thus, the code in the repository and the settings can be edited even outside the game if desired, and they can also be easily shared with other players. By the way, about the configuration, a new screen for user settings has been added to the game. Currently, only one option is available, but it's a start. The information here is also directly available from the file, so you can easily edit the configuration file as plain text, or make a backup. Now, regarding the setting that is available from the aforementioned menu, the ability to disable brackets turned out to be a pretty cool option that significantly increases the pace of the game. Honestly, I don't think anyone will continue to use the normal mode after this feature is introduced, unless it's to use the training, which got a bit broken after this update. A few more changes that I don't want to dwell on too much, as they speak for themselves. The idea from the pause menu, support for additional keys such as delete for deleting the character under the caret, alt or option for Mac, and arrows for jumping over words. And of course tab and shift tab, which allow adding and removing indents in the current line in the IDE. Indents can finally be made nice, yes. By the way, it's no longer necessary to have the required amount of SSD to save the code. However, such code cannot be used in the game, so it all makes sense. Of course, there are also some minor balance changes and bug fixes. And the cherry on top is 1,000 coins on the starting balance due to another wipe. Now back to the updates, which have more to discuss than just their description. A new built-in variable, pink level, has appeared in the game. It does not take up any resources and allows controlling potential targets for the pink. It supports 3 values, 0, 1, and 2, or the corresponding constants error, debug, and info, similar to log levels in the console. Initially, this variable has a value of 0. Logic is no different from that in previous versions of the game. When the debug level is set, the ping will also trigger on any projectiles and anything that could potentially pose a threat. The info level also makes chests and coins targets. A very cool step towards the possibility of full automation. It would be great to somehow determine the entity type by its ID. That's why with the update, I also added the type of command, which returns a number unique to each entity type. A complete list of such numbers is available in the documentation, and for convenience, constants can be used. Although until I implement IDE autocompletion, the process promises to be not the most convenient, but I will talk about plans later. Another nice little thing is the built-in variable goto stop delta. It allows you to specify the distance after which the goto command is considered complete. Without such an option, hammers and spears sometimes seem not very convenient when used with the goto command. The same explosive ducks could not be defeated without taking damage. Now this is possible. Now just a few words about what awaits the game next. Right now, I am fully focused on developing the PvP mode. It promises to be quite simple in its initial form. A face-to-face confrontation with another player that will show whose automation or typing skills are better. But along with this, I am working on fundamental changes in the game's structure. Right now, I am redesigning the interpreter that underlies the processing of all the code in the game to a more adequate implementation that will support many more nice features. This will be the foundation of how I want to see the game. Once this task is completed, I will gradually start tying the logic of the entire game to the code written in the language used in this very game. It would be good to give it a name. Let the working title be HackeRPG. This approach will allow writing and testing mods right in the game. Plus, the implementation of this task seems very interesting to me, so why not? Of course, I won't be able to finish the aforementioned by the release of the PvP mode, but the range of the language's capabilities will definitely become broader. I set a deadline for the implementation of the PvP mode by the end of winter, but I sincerely hope that it will take less time, although we all know how it usually goes. In any case, thank you for your attention and interest in the project. See you soon.